Oh man, what up, guys? What up, guys? Hit that like button live from the Diddy Trial Courthouse yet again. Hit that like button as you guys come in. Get them lights up, guys. It has been a brutal day for witness number four, Mia. She has been getting pounded by Diddy's defense team. Brian Still has been a menace inside that courtroom behind me. You know that building right there. The defense team has come out looking for blood early today. Man, I got so many notes for you guys because the testimony from Mia and the prosecutors are trying to nail Diddy on S trafficking, racketeering, the RICO. But but Diddy's defense, Brian Still, who was brought in, this guy. Let me show you who I'm talking about. This guy who represented Young Thug. This is what like one of Diddy's 10 lawyers right now that he has. And let me know if y'all can hear me. Hopefully y'all can. Right there, this guy who represented Young Thug in the YSL case, who got Young Thug a 15-year probation, time served as he was, in jail while he was going back and forth to trial, right? So Diddy tapped Brian Still, this guy, the white guy, has been grilling Mia for the past couple of hours. And man, I'm looking around and I'm seeing people in the comment sections on social media just they are very mad at this guy Brian Still for going so hard at the alleged victim, um, who says that Diddy has assaulted her. Y'all guys know the story with that, and that she stayed because of this and because of that, because Diddy, intimidated her, and she couldn't find work anywhere else, and she kept going back. So I said on Friday that the Diddy team had a great day on Friday, including with the Trump statements, who left the door open to maybe giving a pardon if Diddy is convicted, but today, that witness is still on the stand and she is getting grilled. So let me, and that's right there. That's yeah, Manhattan federal court right now. Hit the like button. Let me see. Let me see. All right, yeah, y'all can hear me. So what up, JB? Salute JB's in the building. Pounded. Yeah, they are just, man. They going to work on Mia, guys. They are going to work on Mia, and let me show y'all some of the statements that have been said in this courtroom right now. I'm just telling you guys, Diddy's team has been on fire. They have been on fire. The defense team has been on fire over the past 2 days. Now, there will be another witness testifying that worked at the Intercontinental Hotel that will be granted immunity because that person plans on pleading the fifth today. They're going to, the person, I think it's a man, is going to plead the fifth. Somebody named Garcia is going to plead the fifth. And the judge already said he will sign off on immunity. So no telling what kind of testimony is going to come from that person that witnessed the Cassie beatdown in the Intercontinental Hotel. Of course, that's yet again going to be another person that is going to be testifying about what, guys? About what? About what? Going to be testifying about abuse, right? Physical abuse to Cassie. Um, you know, and a lot of people were saying, well, this probably should be just a domestic violence case and assault case, but yet we have another person is going to come in here, plead the fifth, get immunity, and testify about what he witnessed when Cassie got beat down by Diddy inside the Intercontinental Hotel. Uh, but hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button as I read to you guys what is going on inside that courtroom right now. Some of the testimony. On a nice sunny day out here inside New York City. Nice sunny day. Now, Brian Steele, who is Diddy's lawyer, guys. Brian Steele, who is Diddy's lawyer, uh, said this 2019 message. And then Mia said, who is victim number 4? I wrote, I had a nightmare. I was being chased by R. Kelly and you saved me. Then Brian Steele said, the person you say sexually assaulted you saved you? So Brian Steele asked her the question. He asked her, look what you wrote. So they have some messages that they are reading inside of that courtroom, guys. And Brian Steele asked her, look at this 2019 message. This is 2019. This is after all of that stuff happened. Allegedly that Diddy assaulted her, guy. This is why I say the defense is going in on her brutally right now. He says, Mia says, I wrote I had a nightmare. I was being chased by R. Kelly and you saved me. So she's telling Diddy that she was being chased by R. Kelly inside of her dream, inside of her nightmare, and Diddy saved her. And then Diddy's lawyer said the person you say R-worded you, sexually assaulted you, saved you, ? And then that's when there was an objection by the prosecutor. They say objection, right? And then the judge says you need to rephrase that to the Diddy's defense, okay? And then Steele says, here, what did you write? ? Mia says, sending you all the love in the world. So she said, I'm sending you all the world in the love. 2019. After all of this alleged stuff happened, guys, what are y'all guys thinking right now? Guys, that's strange. That is strange, guys. Hit that like button. And this is why it comes back to, was she really tormented as much as she says? Or was it as bad as she says? Because if she writing letters to Diddy saying he saved her, you know, because she was being chased by R. Kelly inside of her dreams, why is she here testifying about how bad Diddy treated her? Up until 2019, she wrote that. You know, after all of that stuff, alleged, assault and stuff went down. So this is why the Diddy's defense is trying to, nail her on some, inconsistencies. But the prosecutors are saying, look, she was traumatized and this and that. I don't know what the jury's going to believe. But let's see what else. Let me get. You got some more because that's wild right there. That is wild. Cocaine, one hell of a drug. At Rick James says, "Yerk, tell if you drive or not is in the building." Yeah, but Young Dog didn't have hundreds of people, including white people, getting on the stand testifying against him in a trial, says Clifton Hopkins. So that's why you're saying that's why Brian Steele was able to, work out that deal for him. But we'll see. Like I said, Brian Steele he's going in, pounding that lady on stand right now, Mia. That's not her real name, but that's the name that the court know. But victim number 4. So Pathfinder says he's going to be testifying about the bribery attempt. Oh, okay. You're talking about the person that worked in the Intercontinental Hotel who is pleading the 5th, and they are going to grant him immunity. So that's going to be interesting. The Hangout says free Puff. Yeah, and Europe says cocaine, one hell of a drug. All right, so let's go ahead and see what else was said in that courtroom. All right. So Mia said in 2019, sending you all the love in the world, which she said to Diddy after the alleged assault, whatever. And then Combs' lawyer says you were not in his grip anymore. Mia said it's psychological. Then Diddy lawyer's Brian Steele said, why do you keep referring to psychology? Why did you do this? Kim Porter's tragic death was 5 months before. Why were you reaching out to Sean Diddy Combs? Then Mia says 5 months is not a lot. All right. Then Combs' lawyer says, what All right, what didn't you understand that Mr. Combs was brutal to you? How did you write this question mark? Objection from the prosecutor yet again. They said it's too argumentative. Too argumentative. The judge says, Mr. Steele, let's have a very brief sidebar. So the judge called them to the side because the prosecutor didn't like the way Steele was like going at Mia, victim number 4. So objection, you're arguing too much. It's too argumentative with the alleged victim. So they had a sidebar. Then Mr. Steele says, what did you write here? Then Mia says, I wrote, we had so many funny memories. OMG, he. Mr. Steele says, anything in your phone about being brutalized by Mr. Sean Diddy Combs? Mia says, I don't think so. Steele asks, how would we find out? Question mark. Then the prosecutor says, objection, Your Honor, objection. Judge says sustained. So right there, Mr. Steele, who is Diddy's attorney, is nailing her right there. Why don't you have anything in your phone about being abused by Diddy? Where is your proof? Basically, in front of those 12 jurors, he is saying, look, where is your proof that you were actually abused by Diddy? You haven't sent nobody no text messages, no notes. You're not posting anything about him being a bad guy. So I guess why are these 12 jurors inside this courtroom supposed to believe that you were abused? And this was like in 2019, some of these messages, she worked with him from about 2007, I believe, to like 2017, something like that. And these messages were going out in 2019. And he asked her straight out, you know, anything in your phone about being brutalized by Mr. Combs? She said, I don't think so. All right. Combs then asked, Mia, didn't you have time away from Mr. Combs to write today he sexually assaulted me? Question mark. Mia says, I did not have time and would not have written that. Still says, August 29th, 2020, he wrote to you, glad you're well. Love, please send me the footage for the doc. Okay, so that was 2020. They were writing back and forth to each other right there. What do y'all guys think in the chat, guys, right now? What do y'all guys think in the chat right now? I think Diddy's team is doing a great job right now. Like I said, Tisa Tells, who I just seen before I went live, she was on the steps over here. She went to the other side. But I know she said that she was in the courtroom yesterday, and as this guy Brian Steele was on center stage, cross-examining Mia, she said the jurors were nodding their head like yes, and like they agreed with the questioning from Brian Steele, pretty much applauding him. You know what I mean? She said it was disgusting. Because you know, Tisa Tells, she does not like Diddy at all. And she thought that the judge should have said something to the jury for their behavior. It seems like Brian Steele is winning over the jury, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm just here to tell you what's being reported. That's why I'm here out here inside the courthouse right now. And let me see. It's all been about his personal life. Where is the crime? Says the hangout. Diddy walking is New York City. Stranger things have happened, says Hot Wayne. Ray Elroy says free Diddy. Yo, what up, Ray? How you doing? Ray Elroy? Salute to you, Ray Elroy. Man, I'm playing Butter Love. I love that. All right, Hot Wayne. You see, she endured the psychological abuse that a pimp imposed on a female victim. After a pimp abuses his woman, they still come back. Oh, so we outside to say, look, this is all psychological abuse. And that's what she was saying. She was saying it's all psychological, but that went on for like a decade. Now, if y'all want to say that Diddy abused her like a pimp, hey, I can see where you guys are coming from. And that she might have some psychological issues with that. And she keeps coming back. Now it's up for the jury to believe her testimony. You know what I'm saying? Because she hasn't had anything in her notes that Diddy did that to her. This is just basically his word versus her word right now, to be fair. And you try to lock Diddy up for 15 years to life. That's the issue. this is a serious, allegation, a serious crime. You know what I'm saying? Now let's see what else what was said inside that courtroom. Remember, this was August 29th, 2020. These messages. He wrote, "You glad you're well, love. Please send me the footage of the what's that of the document." All right. What else? Now there was a video that the Mr. Steele was trying to show earlier. And this is from the prosecutor. Your Honor, we renew our objection. Um, Judge says, Mr. Steele, are we going to show the video? Question mark. You haven't laid any type of foundation. Take the video down. So there was a video that Combs' lawyer wanted to show, but they said you haven't laid any foundation to show that video. So the judge ordered it for them to take the video down and not show it. All right. Combs' lawyer asked earlier, did you work as an assistant to someone? Mia says maybe 2008 or 2007. I'm not sure. You had a resume saying you had the ability to multitask and had thick skin. Mia says, I'm not sure I wrote that. Combs' lawyer asks that you were able to deal with uncomfortable situations. And then prosecutor says, objection, reading for a document, not in evidence. So that was a little bit earlier on, but let's get to some more. Combs' lawyer asked her, why didn't you write, you bamboozled me, right? Why didn't you write to Combs that you bamboozled me in 2020? Why were you writing back and forth about, giving pleasantries and this and that? Pretty much that's what he's saying in the courtroom. Mia says, because I was brainwashed. Now, Mia, victim number 4, keeps saying that she was brainwashed. This is the reason the messages that she was sending back and forth to Combs seem so nice to him, right? Okay, because I was brainwashed. Brian Steele asks, by who? Mia says, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy. Brian Steele, how did he bamboozle you with a part of his body without your consent? So Brian Steele, he said, look, how did he bamboozle you? He bamboozled you with a part of his body in yours without your consent, meaning, as assault. And then the prosecutor says, objection. Judge says, sustain. Woo! People, I see people in the comment section like, how dare Brian Steele go this hard on her? This is disgusting. The way Brian Steele is attacking the alleged victim, and you should see the comments. I'm gonna read some comments in on social media about the way Brian Steele is questioning victim number 4. All right, Combs' lawyer says, what does brainwashing mean? Right? What does brainwashing mean? Mia says the highs were really high and the lows were really low. I was punished whenever Puff Daddy was violent, okay? Making me believe I had done something wrong. He was praised by the public. Okay. Combs' lawyer, Mr. Combs, let you go from your employment? Question mark. Mia, I don't know why. It was confusing. I was called back. Combs' lawyer, Brian Steele says, here he says, he'll only remember the good times. Mia says, yes. Okay, so that's so far. So guys, what are you thinking? I got a lot more right now. I got a lot more. We are at the Diddy courthouse outside the Diddy trial. What are y'all thinking? Are y'all buying her testimony? Are y'all buying what the Diddy's defense team is selling right now? Let's see. Let's see. Like I said, I try to do Ray Elroy. Says free Diddy. It's all about his personal life. Salty old dude. What up, player? Salute to you, salty old dude. All good outside. All Manhattan. Rogue Moonchild. Tisa is a hater, but she's mad fine. Yeah, she's mad tall too. Yeah, she's mad tall too. Tisa is tall. But she's pretty though. She's pretty. I'm chilling in Carter Hayner, says Ray Elroy. Salute to you. Me and Bandana Travels, we have a video coming out later on today. About 6:30, an interview. So that was cool. I had that birthday party out there. Check that out. Hell, the South is made up of Diddy's. All right. Baby Magic Oil. The Hangout is the transcript available online. I've been in a few. Yeah, I mean it's all over. You're seeing it. I get different reports. You know, I've been in a few. 15 Hopkins. Okay, so let's see what else. And live from the Diddy trial in the back. Let's see what else uh, happened in there. So Diddy's lawyer, Brian Still. When did you first say me too? Question mark. Mia says, when I first saw him being held responsible. Now I have therapy. So Brian Still brung up the Me Too movement. You know, Brian Still, he brung up the Me Too movement. He asked, when did you first say Me Too? Mm, mm. Pretty much hinting that she just hopping on the whole Me Too movement that has been going on over the past like a couple of years. You guys know women bringing up claims about sex assault and stuff that happened to them sometimes decades before. You know the phrase "believe every woman." So he brought that up in the courtroom. So he says, "When did you first say me too?" Mia says, "When I first saw him being held responsible. Now I have therapy." Brian Still says, "Mr. Combs wrote, I gotta find that. You got a copy. What does it refer to?" Mia says, "I think he means the James Brown video." And Brian Still says scrapbook. Okay, whatever that means. Mia's testimony was so devastating, still trying to rip it apart. The defense is desperate, says we outside. Okay, okay, so that's all right. So let me see what else. Mia says, I wrote, I think I have PDFs. I think I gave it to you for a birthday in your house in Mapleton. I customized that purple leather suit so you could walk, not giving an F. If y'all can't find it, I will, but I don't. Combs lawyer, you had a PDF? Mia says, I thought so. All right, Diddy's lawyer. Mr. Combs let you go from your employment. Mia says, I don't know why. It was confusing. I was called back. Uh, Brian Still says, here he says, he'll only remember the good times. Mia says, yes. Combs lawyer says, so when you said you had a passport, they had everyone passport. True. So when you said they had your passport, they had everyone passport. So apparently she's saying that Diddy had her passport for whatever reason. And Combs' lawyer said they had everyone's passport, not just yours. Let me see. Okay. Uh, you are a strong person, Mr. Steele asks her. I'm good at teaching people, not necessarily at enforcing things. Mr. Steele, you're a leader? Question mark. Mia, I don't know about that. Combs, lawyer, you speak up for yourself? Question mark. Mia says, no, I don't speak up for myself. Combs, lawyer, but you empower other people. True? Question mark. Mia says, yes. Brian Steele asks, well, says, let's look at your text message in 1730. Mia says, I sound like me. Then Mr. Combs' lawyer says, show the jury 1733. You left Mr. Combs employed by March 2017. Mia says, yes. Okay. It goes on. All right. Mr. Combs' lawyer says, what about this? Mia says, there had been some terrible event with the police. Pharrell, the musician Pharrell, organized an event to change the narrative of Beach Week, which I think is a college thing. Question mark. Brian Still, you wanted to see Mr. Combs. Mia, I did not. I only said so. All right. Mr. Combs' lawyer, what did you write? Mia says, my grandma went into hospice, so I have to fly out. I have to miss your event here in my hometown. C'est la vie. Effing crush it and make history. Heart emoji. Then Brian still says, deepest sympathy for your grandmother. Mia says, thanks. Then, all right. You see after that. Mia says, my hometown of Virginia Beach doesn't usually get this type of attention. Combs' lawyer says, you're telling the jury you were scared of Mr. Combs, true? Question mark. Mia, true. I was scared of him when he was scary. Then Steele says, listen to 1750. Tell me if you recognize it. Then Diddy's lawyer says, why would you cover up for Mr. Combs to Miss Cassie Ventura? Why writing that Mr. Combs is just misunderstood? Prosecutor says, objection. So obviously they found messages of Mia writing to Cassie Ventura, to Cassie, that, hey, Sean Diddy Combs is just misunderstood. The prosecutor said objection. They did not like that. The judge says rephrase. Then Diddy's lawyer asks, did you tell Miss Cassie Ventura she needs to stay with Sean Diddy Combs? Then Mia says, I don't remember that. What are y'all guys thinking? That's another hit job right there, saying, look, you told Cassie, obviously Cassie probably has been telling you that she's been being abused, and you sent her a message saying Combs is just misunderstood. Sean Diddy Combs is just misunderstood. That's brutal right there, guys. That is brutal. That is brutal. Mia had a crush on her abuser and went back for more after he let her go. She isn't a victim. And that's what Judge Reg, that's what they, yes, they are on lunch break right now. That's what's going on, Judge Reg. They are trying to make it seem like, well, Diddy's team is trying to make it seem like, look, things were that bad because she kept going back. Now she even told Cassie Ventura, look, Puff Daddy, he's just misunderstood. Meaning you should stay with him. Oh man, again, it's messy outside. It's messy. Let me see. Mia says he could find out what I was telling her, meaning he could find out what I was telling Cassie Ventura. Combs' lawyer says, how? How could he find out? Mia says he has stolen my phone and Cassie's phone many times. He's put tracking devices on her car. He's put tracking devices. Now, I wouldn't put that past Diddy. I would not put that past Diddy. But remember, guys, the jury has to believe all this stuff that they're saying. There's no real evidence he did this besides testimony. Now, some of the stuff I can believe happened. A lot of times you can believe it happened. But will the jury, or all 12 jurors, want to convict on a RICO racketeering charge? Because of this testimony that really has this, is really his word versus hers at this point, right? Let me see. It's totally believable, says we outside. Yes, yeah. Mia had a crush on her abuser and went back for more. All right, she is not a victim. Judge Reds, they all sold their soul for money, and the devil collected his due. All right, so let's see what else. All right, he could find out what I was telling her. Combs' lawyer says how. He has stolen my phone and Cassie's phone many times. He's put tracking devices on her car. Diddy's lawyer, but you were alone with Cassie Ventura. Mia says yes. And then Brian Steele asks her, you sued you sued Mr. Combs for $10 million. Then Mia says, it was a mediation. My lawyers ended up getting $200,000. Combs' lawyer asks, you got $200,000? Mia says, yes. So that's breaking news. She sued Sean Diddy Combs for $10 million and ended up getting $200,000 during mediation, okay? Brian Steele says, please look at the screen. Is that your social media account? Mia says, looks like a text message. Sounds like me. Brian Steele says, your text to Combs. She says, Mia says, I don't remember sending this. Combs' lawyer, you are in a tutu, and Mr. Combs appears to be holding his private parts. In Mrs. Cassie Ventura's lawsuit, she alleged sexual abuse, question mark. Mia says, yes. Why did you still communicate with Sean Diddy Combs? Objection for the prosecutor. Judge says sustained. So, all right. So that's where we at basically right now. Hard line of questioning. You are in a tutu, and Mr. Combs appears to be holding his private parts. And this was something that Mia supposedly sent to Combs. All right, you are in a tutu, and Mr. Combs appears to be holding his private parts. In Mrs. Cassie Ventura lawsuit, she alleged sexual abuse, question mark. Mia says yes. Ryan Steele, why did you still communicate with Mr. Combs? Objection. Okay, so the lawsuit Cassie put out there, she was saying, why were you still communicating with Mr. Combs, knowing that Mrs. Cassie Ventura put out a lawsuit alleging sex abuse, and but the prosecutors objected to that, and the judge said sustained. So yeah, so that's where we at right now, guys. Hit the like button, though, guys. Hit the like button if you stand outside the Diddy courthouse. All right. Drew says, Razor, based upon what all you have heard and read, what would be your verdict if you were on the jury? It's tough right now, and I asked that question. I said, you know what? I do not want to be on that jury, because what happens is you can believe that Diddy did all of the assault, even the sex assault, but it is his word versus hers. With some of these witnesses, we've seen the abuse of Cassie on film, so we know he did that to Cassie. Now, would I want to lock him up 15 years to life for the abuse, even though technically this is not a domestic violence case, not a domestic violence charge? Would I say, you know what, I do not like the fact that he likely did do these things to Mia, who is on the stand right now, and she kept going back. He likely did burn Kid Cudi's car without like physical evidence, but I could put two and two together. Do I want to lock him up, even though all of that stuff seemed like years ago, and it was like those people were going back to Diddy, and some of those victims got paid off in lawsuits. And like I said, some of them, like Kid Cudi, met up with Diddy after that whole incident. A couple of years later, he still was denying that he burnt Kid Cudi's car, but you know, but they seem to have made up. You know, I mean, do I want to put him in jail 15 years to life? Would if I was a juror, would I say, you know what, I don't like the fact he beat Cassie up, maybe that's assaulted this lady, but she stayed. Do I want to give him 15 years? And that's what I would have to. I don't know. You know, because technically I'm not supposed to lock him up if I don't think this is a RICO trial, right? If this is supposed to be RICO, S trafficking, you know, racketeering. If I don't feel that this should be that case, you got to say not guilty of the RICO or the S trafficking. He's not brought up on charges of S abuse and really domestic violence. I know S trafficking is one thing. S trafficking is like forcing a person to engage in sex. I mean, I guess if you want to believe that he did sexually assault her, but it's just so ifs. It's so many ifs, bro. It's just so many ifs. She didn't go to the police. It's like, it's just so many. Do I feel comfortable doing that? That's the thing. Let me see. It is crazy because when he first got arrested, everybody was saying, "Oh, Diddy is done. Diddy is done." But now it's like it's getting kind of iffy. I know the feds have a 95% conviction rate. I really do. I do know, but this is going to get very, very interesting down at the, you know, when it's all said and done. Yeah, she was afraid of Diddy. She didn't want to get her head busted up like Cassie. She was psychologically imprisoned by Diddy. Okay, well, I mean, you know, if all 12 jurors believe that, which they probably, all 12 jurors probably do believe that. I don't know. They probably would believe it. It is plausible. It's very plausible. Would they, I mean, it is plausible. And they might make up and say, well, this is not that type of case, but we will convict them of racketeering because we don't like the fact that he did brainwash her. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. Mia said she couldn't get another job. Now she couldn't get a job with the same clout, so she exposed herself. None of them were forced to do anything, said Judge Dreds. Hit that like button, guys, at the Diddy trial. Hit that like button. Let's see. All right, let's see what else came out. Uh, Now, former hotel security invokes Fifth Amendment. This is according to CNN, ahead of testimony today. The prosecution brought in Eddie Garcia, former security at the Intercontinental Hotel, to invoke his Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate himself before the jury entered the courtroom this morning. Okay. The judge said he'd sign an immunity order compelling Garcia to testify. The former Intercontinental employee is expected to testify later today. So after Mia gets off the stand, he is expected to go up there and testify about that beating incident. Now I wonder why he pled the fifth. Maybe did he take a bribe? Now somebody was saying, all right, now they can prove bribery by this guy's testimony. So that's going to be interesting. Now bribery falls underneath the RICO, guys. Hit that like button. Bribery does fall under the RICO. If I guess they're going to try to prove that Diddy bribed the security staff at that Intercontinental Hotel not to tell anybody what happened and to hide the video. So that's gonna be interesting because that does fall under the RICO charge, right? They were coerced by Ruggs. Okay, okay. This victimhood BS is annoying, says Judge. See, we outside of Judge Dredge. Y'all are on two different sides of the fence right here. You know what I mean? We outside once Diddy the Fry. Judge Dredge says nope. He's this is victimhood mentality. We all know a broad will call the cops in a minute on a regular guy. Okay, let me see. This is from CNN also. Combs' former assistant says, this is Mia, Huff used to be my protector. The defense team is going through text messages between Sean Diddy Combs and his former assistant Mia in 2018. All right, this is 2018, guys. 2018. All right. A few weeks later, on January 15, 2019, Mia testified Kim Porter, who shared 3 children with Sean Diddy Combs, died in November 2018. Okay. A few weeks later, on January 5th, 2019, Mia texted Combs that she was thinking about him because she had a nightmare that she was trapped in an elevator with R. Kelly, and Sean Diddy Combs saved her, according to the text message. Okay, this is 2019. After all that stuff happened, so she was still psychologically messed up to be texting Sean Diddy Combs that stuff. All right. In March 2019, Mia texted Sean Diddy Combs saying she was sending him all the love in the world. Sending all the love in the world. Guys, this is why I'm telling you guys, if you on that jury, you seeing this, or you're going to put him in jail 15 years of life after seeing this lady, grown lady, not an underage. This is not a minor. If there's a minor, you had to find him guilty, automatic, because minors can't consent and this and that. This is a grown woman. All the love in the world. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked Mia if she was still under Combs' grip at that time, since she wasn't working for him anymore. She said that she still was psychologically. During those times, those text messages that I just read, she was not even working for Bad Boy Records or working for Sean Diddy Combs anymore. And she's sending him all the love in the world text messages, talking about R. Kelly, was chasing her in the elevator, and Sean Diddy Combs saved her. The jury is looking at this stuff, guys. She wasn't even working there. So she didn't fear for her job at that point. You know, she wasn't just saying good stuff to Combs, telling him good stuff so she could keep her job. That stuff, that I mean, this stuff right there, that's Judge Red says she's telling two different stories. Clifton Hopkins said it's over. The prosecutors have too many eyewitnesses. Everyone that he has dealt with is more than willing to testify against him. That should tell you a lot about what type of diabolical dude he is. Now, yes, there's a lot of people that are flipping and saying all these bad things, but is it RICO? Does it rise to RICO? Now, the person that worked at the Intercontinental Hotel, more than likely he was bribed, right? Maybe he accepted a bribe, did he? Maybe he didn't, but we're going to hear from him. He has pleaded the fifth. He will be given immunity. He will be testifying today about the beatdown incident. Did he accept the bribe? Did he offer him a bribe? You know, that falls under the RICO. Was Bad Boy Records a criminal enterprise? All right. Also, there were based around tragic events that happened in his life, Mia added, pointing out that the text was sent within a few months of Kim Porter's death. Mia also texted Combs in December 2019, writing that she was sending love to him and his family. So Mia said the reason that she sent those text messages is because Kim Porter, his former girlfriend, had died months before. So she was sending text messages to Sean Diddy Combs to pretty much make him feel better. But the defense is saying, look, that's the person you said sex assaulted you a few times over the years, and you're giving him love pleasantries. It seems like y'all have made up. Now, I got once again, would you guys put Diddy in jail for that? Even if you think he did do it, there is no evidence 100% because he did not file press charges. You know, that's the problem we have here. If she would have went after Diddy for the S assault right away, then we could talk because now she's in fear of her life and he's a threat. He's out on the streets. And now we can try to get some evidence, some DNA evidence, some, you know, have a real trial, you know what I'm saying, on that case. But as a jury that's going to put him away for racketeering and RICO, all right, even if you think he did it, do you really have proof that he did it? And she's, you know, sending him all of these love messages. That's what I'm saying. I'm being fair, guys. I'm just calling it like I see it. Let me see. Former assistant, this is from CNN. Former assistant testified that she didn't tell anyone about abuse from Combs at the time. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked Mia, a former assistant to Sean Diddy Combs, if she told anyone about the abuse. She said she endured from Combs while it was happening. That's what I was just saying. Do you have anything where you wrote to a friend, family member, police officer, anybody, and said, this is what's going on? I'm being assaulted, berated, anything. Brian still asked her. Let's see what she said. She said, no, the only time I reached out for help was very subtly to people in the office, inside, I guess, Bad Boy Records office, but not disclosing things that other people hadn't witnessed. Mia responded, no, I would never. Brian still went on to ask Mia if the text messages shown today, including instances where she sent him holiday greetings and say, love you, demonstrate almost a loving relationship between Mia and Sean Diddy Combs. I'm sending him support and love. Yes, Mia said. Guys, y'all can take it right there. Y'all take it right there. Y'all jury number 13. It's a mess. It's a mess, guys. It is a mess. It is a mess. Judge Dress says both things can't be true. Ain't no damn Rico, just a kinky dude, man. He ain't doing nothing other rich people don't do every day. All these witnesses are just proving they were down with Diddy as long as they got paid, says Judge. He did not accept the bribe. So we outside said this guy did not accept the bribe, but he was offered, right? So he's going to testify to all of that. He's going to testify to all of that. That's going to be another issue, bro. And I'm not trying, like, I know bribery is underneath the RICO. If Diddy offered him some money and he did not accept the money, there was no money exchanged. There was no money exchange in that bribery. So uh, now, if the security guard was a police officer and Diddy offered him money, and a police officer said no, that's a crime. That's definitely a crime because you're trying to bribe a police officer. That is a crime. I don't think trying to bribe a well, maybe I don't know. Maybe see, maybe trying to bribe the security officer, even though he said no, is a crime. Maybe I guess in that situation, I think it would have been more of a crime if the security officer would have accepted the money, right? This I'm really I don't know, man. It's Biddy Diddy burnt toast. Maybe like I was saying yesterday, maybe the prosecutors should have charged him with something else besides RICO and racketeering. Because like I played yesterday, Ray J. Ray J was saying free Diddy because of this. And let me know if y'all agree with Ray J. Y'all guys know Ray J. So let's play for you guys what Ray J said about this case and why he says free Diddy.
I feel like it's becoming a circus act for stuff that doesn't make any sense for what Diddy's being charged for. I mean, there's a lot of bad things happening, and we all agree with that. But a RICO, racketeering, sex trafficking, like I've been with Diddy a long time. And if I haven't seen any of these kind of heinous acts happening, then where was I when it was happening? If you told me that the Kardashians was being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. But Diddy, sex trafficking, and all these other extra things, like it's to me, knowing him, knowing the situation, being around with most of the people that's testifying, I just feel like there's somebody at the top who's making a statement, who's making a point. I'm sure Diddy got the point. Free Diddy, he got the point. He's chilling now.
That's not how it works.
I mean, man, I know I get it, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, it's not okay to throw something extra on a man when the charges could have been something totally different.
He's saying the charges could have or should have been totally something different. So he's saying the feds overreach with the RICO. They are stretching. This is a stretch. These RICO charges is a stretch. That's what he's trying to say. Let me see if there was any other updates before they went to break. Hit that like button, guys. We are covering the Diddy trial. The Diddy's defense. Brian Still. All right. The fact is none of what we or Ray J is saying matters one bit. We just sensationalizing, says we outside. Judge Dredd says at least one juror ain't buying this case, and it don't take but one. The security guard testified already. He's now a police officer. Yeah, one of the security guards testified like during the first week. So this is some other, I guess. Is he coming back or this a new security guard? Well, we'll see. We'll see when trying to see if there was any other new updates. I'm gonna go to CNN. All right, this was something I missed. Combs' lawyer asks, you said she was your sister. All right, you know what? Let me go back a little more. All right. Combs' lawyer asks, when Cassie Ventura, all right. This is Diddy's lawyer, Brian Still, asks, was Cassie Ventura in love with Sean Diddy Combs? Leah says, I thought so. Brian Still, did you ever tell her the person she loved R-worded you, sexually assaulted you? Leah says, no, I did not tell Cassie that Diddy has assaulted me. Brian Still, do you remember telling Mr. Combs brain need to be rewired? Then prosecutor says, Judge, can we have a sidebar? Judge says, you may. Diddy lawyer, you said she was your sister. Mia says, yes. Diddy lawyer, you love Cassie, right? Mia says, absolutely, yes. Brian Still, and you feel the same way today? Mia says, yes. Brian Still, you would never lie to her, question mark? Mia, Puff didn't allow me to tell her things like where he was, anything he said. Okay. Y'all make that decision. Y'all make that decision. I'm just, reading to you what's been said inside the courtroom today. The latest on Sean Diddy Combs' trial. All right, let's see. And like I said, a lot of people in the comment section on other news outlets are hating. They are hating the fact that the Diddy's defense team is going so brutally in on an alleged assault victim like that. Former assistant denies Combs was violent with Cassie Ventura on rare occasions. The defense attorney Brian Still asked if Sean Diddy Combs was only violent with his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura on rare occasions. The opposite, Mia replied. Brian Still also asked the former assistant if Combs was generally a pleasant person to be around. Mia said one of his personalities was pleasant and added, the rest of them no. Okay. I was never outside of Combs' grip, says Mia. Former assistant Mia confirmed that she was able to spend some time with friends and family while she was working for Sean Diddy Combs, but she said those times were few and far in between. All right. Defense attorney Brian Still suggested that she had time where she was outside of Combs' grip and with people she trusted. She said, I was never outside of his grip, Mia said, adding that even when she was away from her job, she was still expected to be in constant communication 24/7. Brian Still then asked why she didn't tell any of her loved ones about her allegations when she saw them during that period. She said it was way more complex than that, Mia responded. So, woo. Ah, man. Mia says she doesn't remember when she told prosecutors about assault allegations. Mia testified that she did not initially tell prosecutors and federal investigators about the sexual assault allegations against her former boss, Sean Diddy Combs. Mia testified that she definitely did not tell them before she had a lawyer. Defense attorney Brian Still suggested that Mia did not tell prosecutors about the sexual assault allegations until June 2024. So she didn't bring this up until 2024, last year. That's tough, guys. That's tough. And like I said, I could believe some stuff she's saying that it happened, but it's like it's still your word. You didn't file nothing. I mean, and this is really all right. Combs' ex-assistant sent him birthday text days before Cassie Ventura's lawsuit was made public. The jury saw a message Mia sent Sean Diddy Combs for his birthday in 2023. All right. And she didn't say nothing about the allegations about assault until 2024. So she sent Sean Diddy Combs text messages for his birthday in 2023. The message includes a photo of two of them, which is Mia posted for Combs' birthday in 2014. She testified that she didn't remember sending that message. Mia testified the lawsuit filed by Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, and one of his accusers against the music mogul was made public 12 days after the message. In her federal lawsuit, Cassie accused Combs of sexual assault and years of abuse. Combs' assistant, Mia, said she didn't mention sexual assault allegations during mediation over her severance. Mia testified that she never mentioned any assault allegations against Sean Diddy Combs in the 2017 mediation over the severance with the Combs company. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked her if she was aware of the Me Too movement at the time of the mediation. Mia testified that she was not. So she sued for 10 million. She got $200,000 in mediation, but she didn't mention anything about the sexual assault. That mediation was over severance with the Combs company. So I guess she sued over severance of over getting fired from the Combs company and owed money. She wanted 10 million. The mediation was 200,000. So she didn't even mention back then, 2017, about the sexual assault. I'm just laying it out there for you guys. Not to say it didn't happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but you know, I mean, Mia says she never told Cassie to leave Combs in the way I wish I could have. All right. All right, guys. So what are y'all guys thinking? What are y'all guys thinking? Live from the Diddy trial. Live from the Diddy trial. I think we're gonna walk to the other side to see who's outside, see who's over there. I seen Tisa Tells earlier on East Step. This is getting interesting. Like I said, the guy that works inside the hotel, Intercontinental Hotel Security, is going to be testifying. He pleaded the 5th, and he will be given granted immunity. They probably did that already. And he will be testifying next. I believe Mia is still going to be on the stand once they come back from break. Daquan Bourne says free Diddy. Bro, this is the broad y'all believe, says Judge Dredge. Now she don't remember, but she remember everything else, says Judge Dredge. Salute, Jay White. How you doing, Jay White? Salute on a Monday. Nice, beautiful day out here. Beautiful day out here in New York City. She's lying. She didn't work for him for a while. How she in his grip, says Judge Dredge. The defense doing their job. Those people are stupid. What are they supposed to do? Let her lie. The security are guilty too. They stood back, watched all of this, and didn't stop it. Everybody trying to put it all on Diddy, save their own ex. Now that's the RICO. I think they're trying to say that Diddy was running the organization and that his security team was his co-conspirators. Now they are unindicted. I guess they're gonna be brung in to testify against him. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens when they come out and testify. Clifton Hopkins said the RICO Act is already proven. His assistants and basically everyone that worked for him is testimony that he ordered them to find women, transport them, drug them, and use them for sexual acts. Now, as far as the drugging, there was nobody that testified that he actually drugged them. This lady that's on the stand kind of hinted at it at one point, said they were drinking and celebrating something, and he ended up on top of her. But nobody else has said that he actually drugged or had any evidence that he drugged them in this trial. Now, other lawsuits, yes, y'all been hearing about the lawsuits from Tony Busby, but nobody has testified really in this trial that he has drugged them yet. I'm quite sure that the prosecutor is going to bring in somebody that say that. Transporting them, yes, we discussed the transporting the sex workers across state line. I still say they were consenting adults. They weren't forced to go over there. Now, if they were underage, minors, I would say, okay, but it's like they're adults. The Punisher, that went to the Trump Hotel, he was an adult, grown man, got paid for services, I mean, it's going to be up to all 12 jurors, the one that decided they want to send him away for 15 years. And then, I got to remember, he still has Donald Trump in his back pocket. Maybe for an out, maybe. I thought it was going to be some Epstein situation. American media always overdoing it, says Ed Bavine. And Trump will definitely pardon Diddy anyway. And the jury, all right, now the fact is none of what we, all right, so I read all of that right there. Hit that like button, guys. Free Diddy. And remember, this is what Donald Trump said the other day.
And this is more of a page 6 question, but back when you hosted The Apprentice, you mentioned once in 2012 that Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, he sort of, that relationship busted up. From what I read, I don't know, he didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. You know, it's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So I can't, it's not a popularity contest. So, I don't know, I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Mr. President,
The words of President Donald J. Trump. Some people are speculating what does, which way is Donald Trump leaning? Will he actually give that pardon if Diddy is convicted? Unfairly. He said unfairly. If they go to him and say, hey, Trump, I think our client was treated unfairly during this trial and this and that, and we would like a presidential pardon or commutation. I think Trump may do it in as he's exiting his time as president, in his final, last month presidency. I think he probably would do it. There's a chance. There is a chance. Say he pardoned Larry Hoover, well, he commuted his sentence, and just pardoned NBA Youngboy, who was a rapper. Some of you guys probably don't know, but hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Anybody new to this channel, we are outside the Diddy trial covering, trying to make sense of all of this stuff. Now here, I'm gonna read some of the comments on social media regarding this. Brian Steele, who is the attorney for Diddy, pressing and going all in, pounding on the alleged assault victim Mia on a thing today. Okay, so let's go to some. All right, one person says, I think Brian Steele is disgusting. Personally, I do not like him. Diddy can smell vulnerable a mile away. He's a predator, in my opinion. I don't think anyone would be willing to get terrorized by someone else, but they might put up with it for a time if the abuser has lots of money and power. See, victim ain't so innocent. He's trying hard today. I think it has more to do with being hurt or worse than staying in good graces. All right. That's an example of brainwashing, believing it's your fault when it's never is. She keeps saying she is not lying because Brian Steele keeps implying that she is. Brian Steele should be ashamed of himself. Let me see, I had enough. What an awful thing to say to her. Yeah, so I'm just reading some comments over social media, and people are not liking the way Diddy's team. Now, how are the jury? The most important part is how are the juries taken to this Diddy team, pounding on an alleged victim like that. I said on Friday, look, they're doing their job, they're getting paid a lot of money, and I mean, Brian Still, he brought in Brian Still, part of his 10 lawyers. Let me put it back. He represented Young Thug. He got Young Thug a probation, 15 years probation, you know, with that YSL case right there. That's him right there. When it pops up, Brian Still, and he has been pounding on her today. Hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. Hit that like button, please. Live at the Diddy trial. So how do y'all see this is going? Is Diddy's team winning the day so far? Now things could turn because that security guard is about to come up and testify after Mia. No telling what he's going to say. I know it's going to be a whole lot more of the abuse, which we've heard thousands of times already. The jury has heard about that thousands of times. They're going to have to prove some type of RICO with a bribery attempt or something. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see about that when the security guard comes and testifies about Cassie getting beat down inside that hotel Intercontinental out there inside LA. He has been given immunity, and it'll be very interesting to see which way the prosecutor go with the line of questioning and what they are trying to convey to the 12 jurors. Maybe it's going to be about RICO. It gotta be. It can't be about Bruce. They prove abuse lots of times already. You know what I'm saying? So now they had to say, oh, this guy who's coming in, he's gonna have to he don't have to, but the prosecutor is gonna have to lead him to start talking about some RICO, stuff that falls under RICO, which I think that's probably what they're gonna try to do with, I guess, bribery. I guess. I mean, that's my educated guess. How about you guys? We know he abused them, but where's the RICO? Solid defense exposing the lies. Cassie is guilty, says Killer Rob. Raze, are you still Cameron Tisa tells? Well, she was just out here. She was out here right before I turned the camera on. She was on the steps over here. Right before. I sound like a legal assistant who actually studied the law and not somebody who watched Oprah. They damn sure earning their money. So you like the way so you saying Diddy's defense team is earning that money. Even if Trump pardons Diddy, he has 24 civil lawsuits, and I believe there will be state charges. Lieutenant Colombo. Hey, how about Diddy just going to Indonesia, flying out, having a passport, flying out to Indonesia like Russell Simmons did, and escaping like that? Oh man, I don't negotiate with criminals, even if you are famous as Leonos Kamara. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Anybody new to the channel? Anybody new to the channel, subscribe. You'll cover the Diddy trial. We're about to walk over to the other side, see what's going on over there. Free the black man, says King Wavy. Hit that like button, guys. I appreciate you guys coming here. Right there, you see on the screen is Brian Still, who represented Young Thug in his YSL racketeering trial. Some people saying that YSL was more racketeering than this Sean Diddy Combs trial. Raze, you should give an IQ test to people in the chat before you allow them to comment. Oh man, yeah, you guys. Oh, y'all guys are going at it right now in the chat. Oh man, if they can lock up Diddy, no man is safe, says Judge Dredge. Oh man. Big Super, I just left court. Where you at, Big Super? I'm right here. I'm right outside, Big Super. I know you don't want to come on camera, but let me see. I was in the overflow room on the 24th floor. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right on the side. I'm right on the other side. All right, on the other side. Well, so what's going on? Matter of fact, let me drop the link for you. I mean, I don't know if you can come on or not. Let me drop the link right quick for you. Let me see. Let me drop the link if you're around. Uh, hit that like button, guys. Big Super says he was just in the court room. Let me see if I can. Big Super was inside. I'm on the outside. He was on inside. Hit that like button, guys. You gotta hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Is the Diddy defense making a good case? I think Big Super thinks so. Yeah, hit that like button. Is the Diddy team making a good case? Good defense, putting doubt inside the minds of those 12 jurors. Nice sunny day out here inside New York City. The Diddy trial, the trial of this century. We're gonna walk around to the other side. We're gonna walk around to the other side and see what's going on. Let's see. I think I see Tisa Tells actually. Let me turn the camera that way. Hit that like button, guys. All right, from the Diddy trial, guys. Big time testimony from Mia. Big time defense from Brian Steele. It has been just a bloodbath in that courtroom with Mia on the stand. He said some things over the past few days for the prosecutors that had people saying, wow. And then the defense came back with a right blow to the gut, trying to discredit everything she said in favor of the prosecution. And yes, that is Tisa Tells right there. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. All right, from the Diddy trial. Yes, Tisa Tells right here. Many people. Yeah. Hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. What are y'all thinking right now? That's another attorney right there to the right. Like button up, likes up, likes up, likes up. Hit the likes up. Yes, we are. We are quick camming Tisa Tells. No immunity for Cassie. No immunity for Cassie. Let's see. We're watching live outside the courthouse. Leave Cassie alone, says D. Cassie is a co-conspirator, says Killer Rob. Tisa was trying to find people to get their opinion. Oh, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. D says, leave Cassie alone. Nice day out here at the Diddy Trial. That's another YouTuber right there. Something attorney. She's a beauty in her own right there. Puffy is cooked. At this point, it's a matter of not if he gets convicted, it's how long the sentence is for, says Chris J. We know a broad will always take for, okay. Hit that like button. Gotta hit that like button, guys. You're live, Diddy Trial. Gotta hit that like button. Tisa Tells right here, looking all fine, tall, and pretty. We are here. They are on break right now. No, I won't leave Cassie alone. She's guilty, says Killer Rob. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Beautiful day. You see, how will this end, guys? How will this end? Like I said, I believe the Diddy defense had a great day on Friday. They're having a great day today so far. But like I said, there is going to be that person from the Intercontinental Hotel, that security guard, testify. He pleaded the fifth, and he is being given immunity. So we'll see if he drops a bomb for the prosecutors. They need one. They're going to need a uppercut to counter the right hook from the defense. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see what he has to say besides, did he beat up Cassie? We know that already, Let me get inside, get out the sun. Hit that like button, guys. Anybody want to come up? Hit that link, StreamYard link. I did post the StreamYard link inside the chat. You guys want to come up for a couple of minutes? Give y'all an opinion on the defense strategy. Do you think their strategy is working? Do you think their defense strategy was too harsh? Has the prosecutors already proven RICO? And Mia is still on cross examination. And like I said, they have been pounding her brutally, putting doubt inside the juror's head. Trial of the century so far for the 21st century. I'm quite sure we'll have a new trial of the century after this, of course. These witnesses have no credibility. I believe Diddy says Miko, the fake Miko. They all contradict themselves, says Judge Dreds. Every witness is worse than the last. So you say these witnesses are worse, they get worse and worse. Now that security guard, he's gonna have immunity. So he's gonna let it fly, but really what else can he say besides, did he beat her up? Unless he brings up, like I said, it falls under RICO, that bribery. But somebody is saying that he did not take the bribe. But we gotta see. I know there was a security guard that testified the first week, but we'll see about this Garcia guy. He has been granted immunity, so he's going to testify after. We'll see if he starts talking about how did he bribe them and this and that. But like I said, under RICO, bribery is under RICO. Bribery is under RICO, guys. So it's going to be a little interesting to see. But like I said, we all know Diddy beat her down, which is awful. It is, really is, and it should, kind of be some punishment for that, but he's not charged with that. You get what I'm saying? That should have been kind of like a separate case. I think they would have nailed him on, give him some years, whatever. But, hit that like button though, guys. A beautiful, beautiful day out here inside New York City, covering the Diddy trial. This is a RICO case, not a domestic violence case. Cassie should be charged for trafficking too. She made calls to the escort service herself. Diddy is a monster, says Leeham 14, and Cassie is the prime example of someone accepting money over morals. But she was young when he groomed her, but 10 or 12 years is a long time for her to stay in that situation. Same thing with Mia. The person that's on the stand today. She stayed a long time, stayed in contact with Diddy a long time. Maybe they were both groomed and very, very emotionally destroyed. And the prosecutors are gonna have to prove, which they're trying to. They're trying to prove to those 12 jurors that's the reason both of them stayed around Diddy and kept in contact with him. To explain, why would, they stay around after all of the alleged abuse. The bodyguard can't say nothing else because he a accessory to it. He was given immunity. That's why he pleaded the fifth. So he won't, put himself out there on the line as far as getting prosecuted. So he was granted immunity, and he will be testifying, Judge Reds. Did Aubrey from Danity Kane testify? I know Dawn did. Yes, Dawn Richards testified. Danity is from Danity Kane, that girl group, guys, from making the band. For people that don't know, did he form that group? What is it, MTV? Aubrey is not going to be testifying, she said. Aubrey will not be testifying. Aubrey O'Day, she's not going to be testifying. Nancy Grace is terrorizing Diddy in his case right now on her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know Nancy Grace don't like Diddy at all. No, money made her stay. So you say money made her stay. Not fair, but money. I would say poor Cassie, says Evermine, but at the same time, poor Cassie's husband. The husband is probably realizing that Cassie may not be that innocent. Hey, the husband is just worried about that $30 million she got in the bank. from those lawsuits. He's like, well, when can he break out? When can he get that divorce and get some of that 30 million? Anybody new to the channel, hit that like button. They got immunity because they trying to not go to jail. They guilty too. We still on these Knicks 8, no running. Hey man, like I said, hey, it's over, man. They had their run. I don't think the Knicks were a championship team. They played over their heads. You can look at that roster, man. You know, that wasn't a. Can you? The tandem of Brunson and Cat or Anthony Towns coming in. Did y'all really believe that they were favorites to win a title? They weren't favorites to win the title. So I mean, they went far. They did great, and you move on to next season. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they were favorites to win the title. Would you picture Cat and Brunson winning the title down the road? I guess if everything works out, you know, maybe get a third guy, a third star type guy, and you know, but there's no guarantee a tag team of Brunson and Cat to win the title. Hell, Cat didn't win the title with Anthony Edwards. But hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. Gotta hit the like button, guys. Gotta hit the like button. We're live. Beautiful day. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me walk around and let y'all see the media presence out here. Which you know they about to start testimony again. Let me walk around, let y'all see the sights and sounds. Many YouTubers out here, many media personnel out here. You know, and a nice sunny day. I can only imagine when the verdict is about to be read, how many media personnel is going to be out here. Got tents. Here, the media with tents, overnight tents, or them tents, all media, with the channels, publications. And like I said, on the day of the verdict, this whole thing is going to be packed. You won't be able to walk on the sidewalk. It's a beautiful day out here in New York City, the Diddy Trial. Get a press pass. Actually, if I get out here early enough, I could go in. I could go in. Get out here early enough. It's first come, first serve. Said Big Super, he was just up in there. Big Super, he was just up in there. But you got to get here early enough, probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Stay in that line. When is verdict for? Well, ICO, they're saying that what the prosecutor said, they want to rest their case by the second week of June. That's their plan. They're even going to cut some of the witnesses they had planned. The defense is going to have to call their witnesses. The defense says they were complaining that this might go into the 4th of July. So they're going to have to call some witnesses and do what they do. So, you know, will Diddy testify? Will Ray J testify on behalf of Diddy? At once again, these comments were made by Ray J yesterday about maybe Diddy should have been charged with something else and not RICO, federal racketeering.
I feel like it's becoming a circus act for stuff that doesn't make any sense for what Diddy's being charged for. I mean, there's a lot of bad things happening, and we all agree with that. But a RICO, racketeering, sex trafficking, like I've been with Diddy a long time. And if I haven't seen any of these kind of heinous acts happening, then where was I when it was happening? If you told me that the Kardashians was being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. But Diddy, sex trafficking, and all these other extra things, like it's to me, knowing him, knowing the situation, being around with most of the people that's testifying, I just feel like there's somebody at the top who's making a statement, who's making a point. I'm sure Diddy got the point. Free Diddy, he got the point. He's chilling now.
That's not how it works,
I mean,
AJ.
man, I know I get it, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, it's not okay to throw something extra on a man when the charges could have been something totally different.
The charges could have been something totally different. And a lot of people do agree with that. Whereas Ray J, people do agree that the charges probably could have been totally different if it was brought forth by the state. Criminal charges as far as sex abuse, stuff like that, similar to Harvey Weinstein. But like I keep saying, easier said than done, because a person testifying Mia would have had to bring upon criminal charges against Diddy herself, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure if she would have did that. Hit that like button, guys. Gotta hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Overplayed their hand. So Caesar Blue 5 said they overplayed their hand. You say the feds overplayed their hand? Yeah, and that's why that's what some people are thinking. Do the 12 jurors feel the same way? You know what I mean? And I wonder, I wish I could be in like I said, Tisha Tells was saying that the jury was kind of like agreeing with what Ryan Steele was saying to the victim inside the courtroom on Friday. And Tisha was admitting that the defense team had a great day on Friday. And I think they're following up with a back-to-back great day also. Like I said, we still got to see what that security guard who has pleaded the fifth and is granted immunity, what he has to say. I see a van pulling up right now. Let's see who comes out the van. A van is pulling up. Who is coming out that van? Who is pulling out of this van? Let's see who's pulling out this van. Well, some of the Diddy kids already went in earlier. I don't know if they left out. It's coming back. I don't know. You good? Obviously, a square don't know.
Let's see who's coming out the building. Is it a building or a sprinter? BMW or Mercedes? You don't know.
The lights up, guys. We try to see who's coming out this van into this court. Camera crew's getting
Here's
set
the
up.
cameraman trying to get a copy.
For the Diddy trial. He trying to put a pit charge on Diddy, but he paying these. Don't pay.
Dang.
I don't agree with that. The
There you
prosecution
go.
is still making their point. Yes, that's not how it works. He's chilling all right in a jail cell. Says one man, Rico is crazy. Says Killer Rob.
If I
Let's
had my
see.
guess, it'd be 3 young men.
She got some yams.
Ding
Caesar
dong,
says. All seriously,
Justin,
I have a theory. Diddy already
and Quincy.
lost half his fortune with
That's
this
my
case.
guess. Oh, and then
Who is in this van? Who is coming out this van? How much is they parted from the Taco Man? Like I said, that was a big story past couple of days. He is
let's see
looking
who's in here.
at the case to see if
I don't see
anyone
the driver, so they're not getting out yet.
is treated unfairly. He would consider doing a pardon.
You know the driver that took
Diddy
from the
has not
side,
been convicted yet,
and
of
he be trying to
course.
drive, and they be telling you, I can't see, and you ain't supposed to be seeing because I can't see the side mirror.
YCF Smurf CEO. We are in front of the courthouse. Somebody's coming out this van. We don't know who. Who is entering? Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Anybody new to the channel? They just wanted to ruin his image, and they did. They know this is no Rico, says Killer Rob. How is that justice when you let most of the crooks go, says Judge Red. You're trying to find out who is coming out of this van.
Chris Brown. What up, my nigga? My nigga. What's that? Nigga. Who want to say nigga? That's what out here. Okay. Nigga. Say it with the chest, with a hard on here, so.
Lights up, guys, outside the Diddy trial.
Somebody stole Mr. Barber sale.
It's Keefy D in that van. I don't know who's in that van. I don't know.
It's like 30 people.
Listen, y'all don't play behind that screen. The woman that's holding the camera in her hand don't play with
That's I am Candy King.
I am Candy King to play with her.
Underscore between every word.
I mean, if you don't go, OOG don't go. I'm telling you. God, we wait
Don't
for
go-
years. We're coming back to break. Today is Mama King is not here today. It's Mama Cone, Ricky, Justice today. And we wait for them to go back to court. He is still testifying. After that, tomorrow. They put me in a couple of slips. They were talking about ethics after the break. I guess about an allegation that
All right. Sounds like a plan. This is the only man in the land that Miss Stone talks to. This man right here. Live and direct.
Oh, the whole world on. Everybody get on go. OOTA.
On go. That way.
Yeah, hit that like button. We're trying to figure out who is in the van. Who is in the van?
Justin Quincy and probably possibility.
Okay.
Most likely Quincy is probably.
Okay. Okay. So the kids are most
So we didn't
likely
see them
in the
come out,
van.
but I think they went around, got the kids inside the building. Maybe Quincy, Justin. I don't know if they got my phone. She came in earlier today, so she may be in the van.
Maybe she left out and coming back in. Maybe.
Yeah, so maybe she's in the van with them as well. And they're taking their time to come out, so I think maybe the whole family.
Okay. Okay. Y'all heard it. Right here from who?
OOTAONGO. Buddha on go. My name is Buddha on TikTok.
Okay. Okay. Check him out. I'll check you out. Thank you for the info. So Diddy's family. Diddy's family is likely inside this van about to exit and go back inside the courtroom. Maybe the mama is in there. Said Quincy. I guess is one of Diddy's sons. So I'm trying to see the statue. The statue. He looked like he can be down with my Fun Boy crew. I'm trying to see the statue. What statue, Silk?
All right. So what happened was,
He got them. She fitting the Times Square. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Chris J. Y'all are diabolical in the chat. Hit the like button, though. Hit the like button. We're trying to see what's coming out this van. Hit the like button. Times Square statue. Yo. Oh, diabolical. $1 buy. Free Diddy says Killer Rob again. Ray J says that too. Why the dude looks high, says Ibrahim Muhammad. Okay, so now they're about to come out. Let's see who's coming out up here. Let's see. Oh, that was a little tease. That was a little tease. That was a tease, guys. He murked big. I want to see him get the chair, says Silk Brunson. He said, what up, Ibrahim Muhammad? Hit that like button. We're trying to see what's coming out this van right now, guys. Live from the Diddy Courthouse. And free, all right, they're coming out now. All right. Diddy kids right here. Diddy kids, Diddy two sons. All right, just seen Diddy's son just walk inside the courtroom. We did not get to see the mother. The mother is still in there. She did not exit and come out. So the mother is in the courtroom right now. We thought she might be inside the van, but it was Diddy's sons. They had nothing to tell us. A lot of big facts over there, says Judge Reds. No, Brooklyn. YouTuber, yeah. Raze. Come on. Hey, no, look at second. Look at
when you ready.
Oh, you on live? What's your name? What's your name? Yes, W. Salute, guys. Live from the Diddy trial. I'm thinking I'm thinking that the Diddy's team is doing a great job right now. You know, badgering the badgering the alleged victim on the stand. But I think they getting paid big bucks. Brian's still doing a major job, and they putting doubt inside the jury's head. Those 12 jurors, you know, asking why, you know, she didn't leave. Why was she kept sending love notes to Diddy? You know what I mean? If all of that assault happened to her, you know, and it's like they have made a point to like, wait a minute, things wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? These couldn't have been that bad if you stayed around all those years. And then even when you left the company, you got fired or whatever, you still sent him, you know, well wishes, you know, after you was free. So obviously you probably was over exaggerating what happened to you. There's no real evidence what happened to you. You know, you didn't report it. You didn't tell your friends and family, you know. So I think the Brian Steele specifically is doing a great job. He did a great job on Friday, and I think he's doing a great job today. But we still got to see now. They got the other person's going to go in there from the Intercontinental Hotel to testify, and he was granted immunity because he came in. Yeah, he pleaded the fifth, so he won't incriminate himself. I think they're going to try to talk about the bribery. Maybe Diddy probably offered a bribe for them to, you know, hide the footage or whatever. That falls underneath RICO, you know. But because a lot of people saying the government is having a tough time proving the RICO in this. You know, they prove abuse, domestic violence, and stuff like that. But not necessarily racketeering and RICO. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Yeah, like another month. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm Raze. You know, we just covering this case, but we do a lot of travel stuff also. But right now we are hardcore on the Diddy case, so we're going to be out here for the most part until this trial ends. So Raze is the channel. Like and subscribe. Your channel? The Night Struggle Life. Okay. 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 All right. All right. Salute. All right. No doubt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, guys, live from the Diddy trial, guys. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. We just seen the Diddy son walk in. To the trial, they had no word to say. Obviously, stressful time for them. Yeah. Yeah, you drop your phone. I say, yeah, I know. I done dropped my phone plenty of times. Press the start button. You press it. Go ahead. Thank you. Now. Yeah, I'm live right. Yep, live right now. Yep. So, yeah. So they heard you talking and everything. So, yeah. All right, man. Salute. All right. All right, for the Diddy trial. Everybody is talking about it. Trial of the century right now. Like I said, when they do that verdict, it is going to be bedlam over here. You're not going to be able to walk on this sidewalk when that verdict comes in. That morning of the verdict is going to be just, man, chaos, mayhem over here. I think CV was hoping to stay in Diddy's good graces because she figured there was still hope for a career in entertainment. She also knew he held the keys to many industry doors. So you said Cassie, that's why she stayed. Cassie co-conspired her. Cassie not a victim. I don't see no RICO. Wayne Bryan still. Well, damn. Is Jay-Z or 50 Cent next? Says Everbine. Shout out to Travel Squad in the building. These prosecution witnesses are seeming more incredulous. Did you hear the ex say she was brainwashed? Yes, yes. I talked about that when I first started the live stream. The defense was grilling her. Ryan Still was grilling her. Yeah, and it was a bloodbath earlier today. And the prosecutors got to hope that this next witness that they bring, that was the that worked inside of the Intercontinental Hotel where Diddy beat up Cassie. Hopefully, he testifies more than just abuse for the prosecution. The prosecutors is probably going to try to point out bribery, which falls underneath the RICO Act. So bribery falls underneath the RICO Act. Maybe they're going to try to say that he, or lead the witness to say that who has immunity, Travel Squad, he has immunity because he pled the fifth, so they granted him immunity to testify today. Maybe he would say that after the assault, Diddy tried to bribe us and for us to keep quiet and to shut up about the case and this and that falls under RICO. So we need to see what angle is the prosecutor going to take with their next witness. And then we're going to see how Brian Still and the defense team cross-examines. You know, Cassie took a plea deal and snitched on herself and Sean Combs the first week of court, says DSW. Unindicted co-conspirators, people say. And that is the RICO, I guess, what the feds are trying to say. Is that a stretch, though? Is they using the RICO in a way where, you know, some people say the YSL Young Thug case was more of a RICO than this case. You know what I mean? Is the federal prosecutors, are they reaching with using the RICO to try to bring Diddy down? That may backfire, right? With some of the jury, I don't know. You know, we'll see. Or this is hearsay. Yeah. Some people are able to escape abusive relationships. Many are not, for whatever reason. It's the same mindset that keeps people addicted to drugs, says Silk Brunson. That is true. Let's see. Everybody hit the like button. Hit that like button. Live from the Diddy Trial, Lower Manhattan. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. I just got to see Diddy's sons enter the courtroom. They had nothing to say. Basically had their head down. RICO for what? So he wasn't trafficking anyone or drugs, right? But they're trying to, I guess they're trying to say that people were crossing state lines to do sex work. You know, I mean, like I said, is this a stretch? Is this case a stretch? Is this a stretch? Did they overreach? They do have a 95% conviction rate, though. You can't forget that. The feds does. They do have a very, very high conviction rate. Can they get all 12 jurors to continue with that hot streak and convict Diddy of racketeering and trafficking in the next 3 weeks? What witnesses will Diddy call in his defense? Will Ray J? Will Ray J? I know I played it before, but will Ray J? It sounded like Ray J is ready to testify on behalf of Diddy. What's up? The next court date, I don't know exactly. I think tomorrow, the guy in the hat, he knows. Ask him. Maybe tomorrow. It should be tomorrow. Let's hear what Ray J had to say about Diddy. Free Diddy.
I feel like it's becoming a circus act for stuff that doesn't make any sense for what Diddy's being charged for. I mean, there's a lot of bad things happening, and we all agree with that. But a RICO, racketeering, sex trafficking, like, I've been with Diddy a long time. And if I haven't seen any of these kind of heinous acts happening, then where was I when it was happening? If you told me that the Kardashians was being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. But Diddy sex trafficking and all these other extra things. Like, it's, to me, knowing him, knowing the situation, being around with most of the people that's testifying, you know, I just feel like there's somebody at the top who's making a statement, who's making a point. I'm sure Diddy got the point. Free Diddy, he got the point. He's chilling now.
That's not how it works,
I mean,
AJ.
man, I know, I get it, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, it's not okay to throw something extra on a man when the charges could have been something totally different.
He says free Diddy and the charges should have been or could have been something totally different, meaning that they are overcharging Diddy. Do y'all guys agree with Ray J? That is the biggest concern right now. Are they overcharging Diddy? Is he being charged fairly? And that's something that could come up as far as Trump maybe granting a pardon. Remember, Trump said, hey, if he feels that somebody is treated unfairly, no matter who it is, whether or not he liked them or not, or they like Trump or not, he will look into doing a pardon or commutation. Does Trump think this is a RICO trial? That's another thing. So many layers to this, guys. Hit the like button. Vegas, everybody, Vegas is legal. Vegas is legal. You know, parts of Vegas technically, everybody. Most other places is technically illegal, everybody. But should that even rise to 15 years in prison if they weren't forced to do it? Would the jury say, you know what, this is overreaching? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a crime to do it in New York. But should somebody be getting 15 years if the people weren't really forced to do it? Those are consenting adults. Now, if it was underage people, yes. But they haven't said anything about underage yet. A lot of the sex workers, like you said, the Punisher testified, he went there for money. He was an adult. Technically, yes, it's illegal to do it, but is that you're giving somebody 15 years to life and engaging in that stuff? That's the issue. Did they overcharge Diddy and not charge him properly, to where you can't punish him, let him get some time, but not 15 years to life for federal RICO racketeering? That is the biggest question right now, and that's why it's murky. It is murky. You know, not everybody really understands 100% RICO. It's very kind of vague because they just lump everything underneath, you know. It just, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna just keep saying that. If it's his first offense, he shouldn't get 15 years to life. Lady's been hooking all playoffs and all All-Star game. So how is that company able to exist? He's not the only one ordering from that company. Hit that like button, guys. What are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking? Is Diddy done? Does Diddy have a chance? Is Diddy's team trying to witness the alleged victim number 4, Mia, on the stand right now as we speak? I will have another update later on when court is about to end. We'll come back live, but we are right now live, and it's nice Monday day out here. Lower Manhattan. All right, guys, anybody want to create live streams like this, hit that link right there. The StreamYard link right there. Hit that link. You get $10 off. $10 off of streaming. You want to use a StreamYard, $10 discount code right there. Sign up. $10 discount. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. Yeah, guys, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. You seen the Diddy sons walk into the courtroom and walk into the building, heads down, not really enthusiastic about being here or talking to anybody, talking to the media, of course. The media is out in full force right now, live from this Diddy trial, and we are covering it. Anybody new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe. Double tap the live, people, subscribe, and leave a comment. DSW, shout out to you, DSW. I think that was you we were just talking to. Shout out to you, DSW. Get the lights up, guys. Get the lights up. All right, guys, we're about to end this stream. We'll be back live in an hour or so. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back live from the Diddy trial, especially if something else crazy breaks inside that courtroom. I have another update for you guys from Lower Manhattan. Hit the like button, guys. Yes, yes, sir. I am sitting across the street. All right, yeah, you were just yeah, you were just all right. You were all right, yeah, you were. All right. Shout out to you, DSW. Shout out to you. I'm about to go get me a hot dog from somewhere. In well, pause. I should have said hot dog. And with this strange case, baby oil and stuff. I'm about to go get me a pretzel, and some soda. God damn it! Hit the like button. I'll be back live a little bit later on. Salute. Thanks, Miko. Yeah, pause. Oh, Travis Squad. Oh, man.